This is Super Yacht News with Yves Sisman.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. Okay, so first thing, Yacht Spot. This is a feature where you, the viewers, send in footage to us of yachts around the world and we put them on the screen. As you can see here, we've got video footage of motor yacht Constance. This is a 60 meter or 196 foot yacht built in 2006 by CRN Yachts, and this footage was taken in the wharf in Washington DC this weekend. Now, the owner, according to Super Yacht Fan, is an American called Alan Dabier, I believe it's pronounced. So yeah, so very nice footage there, and you can see we've credited the person who sent it in on the screen there. Okay, next video, and you can see motor yacht Sarafsa. Now, this boat was featured a few times on the channel in December, I think it was, November, December. We told the whole backstory of what happened here with the yacht, that it was seized from Saudi Arabian prince actually, and is now for sale by a bank. If you want to see the story, I'll put a link at the top here because we've already covered it all. But the yacht is back in Monaco. I don't know where she's been, but she's back in Monaco, still for sale according to the Burgess website. Still needs a paint job. I don't think that's going to happen until the sale takes place. I would imagine whoever buys this yacht will send it straight to a shipyard somewhere to have a paint job. Yeah, so like I said, if you want to see more about that, there's a link up the top there. And then the final yacht for this episode of Yacht Spot is motor yacht Christina O. Now, this boat is a special boat to me. And the reason why is because this was originally a warship in the Second World War and was converted after the war by Aristotle Onassis. There's a photograph here of Aristotle Onassis next to the boat after it was converted. It was simply known at the time as motor yacht Christina and later on became Christina O. Now, the yacht was originally built as a Canadian anti-submarine river-class frigate called HMC Stormont, and it was built in 1943, went into service in 1943, and it served in the Atlantic convoys during World War II. Now, this is why it makes it special to me, because my father was in the Merchant Navy during World War II, and he sailed in those convoys even in 1941 when we were losing 500 ships a month. My father was out there 16 years old. Yeah, quite crazy. Interestingly, there is a movie that has just come out, and there's going to be a screening of it. If you're in Palma de Mallorca, there's going to be a screening of it. It's held by Estella Yachting Agency, and it's called Triangle of Sadness. Now, this film, the reason why I brought this up in this segment is because that film was actually filmed, or some of the film was filmed on board Christina O. So if you want to see Christina O, the interior of it, and more about that yacht, then you can check out this movie. And if you're in Palma, you can watch it. I think it's a charity event as well. Yes, it is. I'll put the link in the description below here. And if you're interested and you can make it, you can go and click on that link and buy tickets for that, to go and watch that movie. All right, so we'll move on now. First story, motor yacht Octopus is back in the Antarctic. Now, we recently showed you, a few weeks ago, we showed you some photographs and even some video of Octopus in Ushuaia, the southernmost city in the world. She is known as. She is just almost on Cape Horn, at the very bottom of South America. It's not a place that you just happen on by. It's a place that you only go to for very specific reasons. It's a staging area for going to the Antarctic, amongst other things, fishing village and stuff like that. We had some photographs and videos sent in from a subscriber from that location, which I was quite amazed by. That's the stuff you see on screen right now. Now, also, after Octopus did the last Antarctic trip where she had Lewis Hamilton on board, and a chap who's a very famous American snowboarder, excuse me, I don't remember his name right now. They were on board for at least one of the trips that they did down there, and we put footage on the screen at the time. We kind of had to figure out if he was actually on board that yacht, and eventually we figured out he was. Anyway, they released their own photographs of the yacht down in the Antarctic. Now, I was checking on the yacht today, and I noticed it was back down in the Antarctic, which I was quite surprised about. Got down there about 3 days ago, crossed over that treacherous Drake Passage. It can be very treacherous there. That's where you go when you go from Ushuaia down to the Antarctic. That's the way you go, through the Drake Passage. And the vessel is down there currently. Now, I'm kind of jealous, to be honest, of that trip. And being on that yacht. I mean, of all the yachts in the world, that's the one I would want to be on. If someone said to me, we want you to go to the Antarctic, we're going to pay for it, pick whichever yacht you want, I would pick Motor Yacht Octopus. It is the most qualified yacht. It's the ice class hull. It's got all the equipment on board. It's got everything you might want down there. It's got a submarine. It's got, so many tenders, and it's got all the gear. Helicopters, 2 helicopters. Has a hangar for 2 helicopters on board. It's quite an incredible yacht. Still one of the largest yachts in the world to date. So anyway, they're back in the Antarctic. We don't know who's on board, but of course somebody's paying for that trip. So it will be interesting if we get any information through to say who's actually chartering the boat. But it does explain why she was laid up in Ushuaia for those weeks, because it's unusual for a yacht to just sit somewhere unless there's there's got to be a specific reason for whatever it's doing, right? We also had information that the boat was heading back to the Mediterranean after the last charter. So yeah, we were quite surprised that it was just sat there, but now it explains it. They obviously got another charter booked. All right, so we'll move on to the next story. Now, this is an interesting one. Motor Yacht Apo has been listed for sale. If you don't know this boat, it is because it's quite new, actually. It was at the Monaco Yacht Show last year. It was delivered in 2021. It's a Lursen build, 115 meters or 377 feet. It's quite an incredible looking vessel. It's a 5,200 gross ton vessel. It's powered by twin MTU 4,000 horsepower engines, and it has quantum stabilizers. It has 4 quantum stabilizers on board. Quantum is quite a famous brand. It's the brand to have. It's a bit like they have something called zero speed stabilizers. That's actually a trademark name. And it's like a bit like rollerblades. It's a generically used word to describe inline skates, right? Well, quantum stabilizers are actually known as zero speed. If you see a vessel that says it has zero speed stabilizers, then officially they are quantum stabilizers. Otherwise, they get called at anchor stabilizers. This is a really beautiful looking yacht, as you can see in this video, which was from Moran Yachts. I will put a link to this video so you can see the full thing, because I'm obviously not going to use it all here. It's really interesting to see the interior. It's quite stunning on the inside. The price of this yacht is 330 million euros. I don't know what that is in dollars, but at the moment, the dollar and euro is it's tracking about the same right now. So I would say it's probably around about the same. The yacht's owner is Michael Lee Chin. He is a Jamaican, self-made billionaire. Quite incredible story, actually. And I might do a video about him at some point. One of the interesting things is that his first experience on a ship was working on board as a motorman on a cruise ship. I think it was in the 1970s, but his first experience at sea was as a motorman on a cruise ship. And he was probably thinking, like all of us thinking, man, I'd love to have one of these for myself, one day. And now, whatever it is later, 40 years later maybe, he's got his own super yacht, which is quite an incredible story. Now, just one more thing about that, actually. Quite often, one of the comments we get on any videos about super yachts is from people who say, all the starving people in the world, and imagine if the person had given the money to charity instead of building this yacht. Michael Lee Chin has donated $60 million to charity over the years. Now, that would have bought a very nice yacht, wouldn't it? So let's just say in this particular instance that he's already done that, and he's still managed to build a yacht for himself too. All right, so we'll move on. One more story before I go, and this is 145 meter or 470 foot Lursen's new super yacht, currently in build. It's known as Super Yacht Luminance, and it's preparing for launch. The vessel's been sighted again. It was sighted like a year ago, or maybe not quite a year ago, when the vessel was seen being put together. The vessel was towed to its finishing area where it is now, and it's now in a floating dry dock at the Lursen facility. Now, this is one of the longest yachts in the world. It will be when it's launched, 145 meters. It's 9,000 gross tons, which is, a big yacht. But just to give it some perspective and to show how big Octopus is over 10,000 gross tons. So this is a 145 meter yacht, this new Luminance from Lürssen. Octopus is 20 years old, and it still has a bigger gross tonnage than this brand new yacht. So that just really puts into perspective what a behemoth Octopus is. Anyway, going back to Luminance, the owner of this boat. Now, about 6 months ago, we did a video saying that the vessel was for sale, and because it was owned by Rinat Akhmatov, who is a Ukrainian billionaire. I guess he thought it was not the best luck to have currently, especially when your country's at war, to have a big yacht like this. And the vessel was put up for sale. This is what sources told us. As far as we know, the vessel is still for sale, but he hasn't sold it. So he is, we believe, the current owner. Now, we've not been able to confirm that independently. Lürssen is certainly not going to tell us who the owner of the vessel is. So this is all based on information that we receive from inside the industry. So we believe the yacht is still for sale, but we have no more details on that or price or anything like that. If you've got any information about that yacht, please get in touch. You know how to do that, and I'll tell you at the end of the video. All right, so one more thing before I go, just a reminder to check out our Patreon page. It's at patreon.com/eSysman. You'll get to see exclusive videos not published on YouTube. You get to see early access to features advert free, and you'll get to suggest topics for future videos and ask questions for upcoming Q&As. So check it out at patreon.com/eSysman. One other thing is check out our other channel. It's called 3 Minutes of Maritime. I will put a link below and maybe one up in the top corner here. We just put out a new video today, and these videos are shown to be very popular indeed. So please check them out. We'll put links in all the normal places. All right, guys, that's enough for today. If you've got any information about any of the stories we've covered or any other stories, please be sure to get in touch. You can do so through the About page of the YouTube channel. You can do so on Instagram, on Facebook Messenger, and you can also get us on Threema. Please be sure to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell for future notifications. All right, guys, thanks very much, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.